In today's video, we are going to be going over an update on my Mega Greninja deck. We're going to be going over some of the new card choices that I've been experimenting with and showcasing to you guys my current iteration of the deck. So stay tuned. Hey, what is up, guys? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys yet again another Pokemon deck profile. Today we're going to be looking at a revision / revisiting of my Mega Greninja deck. I decided during PokeCon that I would revisit and test out other variants that I wanted to play around with. And during that time, I also managed to pick up some nice upgrades to the Greninja line and some other nice cards to help kind of bling this deck out. So I actually really like this deck. It's probably one of my favorite water decks in the game right now. It kind of reminds me of Greninja Break from Breakpoint during the, I think, 2016 2017, or even earlier. I think it was like 2015 Pokemon metagame, when right during the early stages of Sun and Moon, when we still had Greninja Break. The benefit with this deck, though, that I like is there's so many ways to play it, and there's so many ways you can approach this, but I decided to continue looking at the Dunsparce variant because there's a lot of promise with it. It's just tweaking the ratios as well as kind of tweaking the supporting engine to make the deck run better. So I settled onto this. So kind of without further ado, let's kind of get onto the deck profile, shall we? But before we do, please subscribe if you haven't and hit the like button. And let's begin, shall we? So starting off with the Pokemon, we're running 18. So we're still running the Greninja line of 4 Froakie. I managed to get a playset of Illustration Rares, 2 Frogadier, and 2 Mega Greninja EX, and 2 copies of the regular Greninja EX. So what I like about this current lineup right now is it's still really strong. I may test a 2-1 lineup depending on how the meta develops, but in my current testing, I feel like this lineup is perfectly fine. And even when I was testing out my locals, it was actually really pretty good. Let me move it right there. Plus, I'm working on getting full art Greninja EXs, just so I can have it all kind of line up. Next, we play 3 copies of Dunsparce, along with 2 copies of the Runaway Draw, the Dunsparce, and 1 copy of the Dunsparce EX. The reason why I'm running this ratio right now is because the Dunsparce EX allows you to have easy outs and easy answers into decks like Raging Bolt, Slot Box, because they're running a large number of EXs that could threaten both regular Greninja and Mega Greninja, that you just need a tertiary attacker that you can use to basically even out the prize trade. And I found that the Dunsparce EX, like in my matchups at my locals, I found myself craving the need to play the Dunsparce, because in my original build for locals of the my earlier version of this list, I was running a 3-3 line of Dunsparce into Dunsparce, and then I realized I needed some kind of tertiary attacker in case Greninja is not the best attacker during that situation. So I kind of concluded into playing this the Dunsparce EX. Continuing on with the supporting Pokemon, we play 1 Meowth EX, 1 Pheasantipity EX, and 1 Shaman. So that's it for the Pokemon lineup. So far, I really like this lineup. It's really good. It's really succinct, and it's really strong. Next, we play the supporters. So this is where the supporters get a little interesting. So we're still playing the 4 Lilies Determination. We're playing 3 Bosses Orders still. But now, I'm testing 2 copies of Colress's Tenacity. The reason why I'm playing this is I am playing Grand Tree as my ace spec of choice, because it allows you to have early game setup at turn 3 to rush into either the fighting Greninja EX or the Mega Greninja, depending on the board state, and take early knockouts. And not only that, it just helps you set up your board really quickly instead of just relying on rare candy, because essentially you have a searchable rare candy in the form of Grand Tree, and it just allows you to just steamroll your opponent really easily. And we're playing 2 copies of that. Next, we play 1 copy of Dawn. This is just here for consistency and for the needed 1 of Search. And then I also play 1 copy of Rosa's Encouragement. This is here when I'm behind it, when I'm a little behind in prize trade, or my opponent somehow gets a head start, or like gets a head start, but somehow is able to either catch up or get ahead in the prize trade. And this just helps me reload up the Mega Greninja, set it up so I can discard the waters in my hand for Mortar Shuriken, and I can just reattach it onto the Mega Greninja and do additional damage. So we're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 supporters. Next, we got the items. So we're still playing 4 Buddy Buddy Poffin, pretty standard. And then I'm also playing 4 Pokepad. And then 2 Ultra Ball. Pretty standard for in my testing right now. I feel like this ratio is perfect, because this allows you to search the Dunsparces, and then as well as search out any key pieces that you need early game. And then you have 2 Ultra Ball, then 2 Rare Candy, 2 Night Stretcher, 2 Energy Retrieval. This is here just to spam Mortar Shuriken as often as you can. Since we're playing the Dunsparce EX, we need some way to pivot ourselves out in case we do need it to use the Dunsparce EX to equalize in the prize trade. So I play 2 copies of Switch to help us with moving in and out of the active. And then 1 copy of Special Red Card for the and Disrupt. That's it for the items. Now for the stadium, I play 1 Grand Tree. The reason why I'm playing Grand Tree over something like Neo Upper Energy is pretty simple. If I'm going first, I want to be able to get my Power Spike early game as soon as possible, and without having, and if I get item locked, this is my way to like kind of Power Spike back into the game by just Grand Treeing into the Mega Greninja and then going for early game searches in order to get deeper into my deck and gain card advantage. And the benefit with the Grand Tree that I like about it is that it does give your opponent an option if they run evolution to kind of cheat into their stage 2s. That's the price you pay for like getting early game aggro. And with this lineup, you have to be able to kind of get into either this Greninja or the other one, or the Mega Greninja, depending on the board state, as soon as possible. Because, for example, if you get the fighting one out, you get to essentially get a head start and search your deck for additional pieces in order to push for advantage. And then if you're going up against a deck like Alakazam, you would go into Mega Greninja just to get the early knockouts on the Abras, just so you can kind of just bully down the lane. And from my own personal testing with this, I really like the idea of... Sorry, that was my alarm. I really like the idea of just getting early aggression and early access to my deck as soon as possible in order to get the key pieces I need to continue to kind of get the game continuing rolling in my favor. And the Greninja EX, for example, with the Shinobi Blade, will allows me to search for key pieces that I need to kind of widen the gap that I already extend with the play of Grantry into this. So the only thing you have to worry about is if your opponent plays the Clefairy, then they're able to equalize back and in fact get ahead of the prize trade depending on their prize state and the board state in general. So you have to be very careful. But what I like about Grantry is it just gets you into your stage 2 really quickly without having to search for all your pieces in order to early game pressure them. And then continuing on with the stadiums, we play 2 copies of Surfing Beach, kind of standard. And then for your energies, we play 6 water and then 2 ignition energy. So right now this deck is it's one of my favorite decks to test out right now, and it has been serving me really well. And I really just like Greninja in general. It's one of my favorite starters in the Kalos region. And with the advent of Mega Greninja essentially giving us back Greninja Break, we are able to just press advantage really easy early game and bully out matchups that tend to be a really tough back and forth, because being able to just early game put 66 damage counters onto the board per copy of Mega Greninja by just simply discarding water is just really nice. And it also softens up targets like the Ogre Pawns, as well as helps you kind of soften up your targets against more heftier mons, which I like about it. But overall, I really like the Grantry build. I am going to be testing the Neo Upper again, and I'm also going to think about testing there's another variant that I'm thinking about, and it seems interesting in testing, but I just have to kind of put together the ratios just to make sure it looks right. But overall, I'm actually happy with how the deck is looking, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other variants I can expand with this Greninja deck and see how I can take it even further. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, also crack that like button. And if you guys like to see me actually test this deck live via TCG Live, please let me know. I will gladly showcase how I would play this deck. Once again, this is Platinum Point. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, also crack that like button, and I hope to see you guys soon. Stay on point, guys.